Hey guys, we're back at it. Mama's tea time. We're three mamas spilling the tea. I'm Katie.
I'm Jessica.
And I'm Rachel.
All right, let's get it.
Okay, I'm going to start us off this time. And I read mine literally today. So I found mine today, and it is kind of juicy, I feel like. So
It's a gold mine.
it's titled, Am I the Asshole for Telling My Husband's Ex That I Must Have Been the Favorite Girlfriend Since He Married Me? And let me tell you, let me start off. These people aren't like our age. They're not in their early 30s. Like they are in their 40s. And this is the title of their Reddit story. I just feel like that's kind of silly, but so my 40-something-year-old female husband, 40-something-year-old male have been off and on since we were 12. Broke up at 22, took a 17-year break and got together 3 years ago and have been married for a little over 2 years.
Whoa.
Right? That's some history.
That's a long time.
That's when I read that, I was like,
Dang.
oh, shoot. Okay.
Hey.
He spent almost 3 years with an ex and they broke up about 10 years ago. The ex, who I will call Patty, and my husband Doug broke up on good terms, and she will reach out here and there to say happy birthday, Merry Christmas, and she reached out when she heard we were getting married and gave us her congratulations. Saturday night, we went to the local bar, and she happened to be there, and we all sat together, drinking, talking, and just hanging out. I was 3 Jack and Cokes in, and I cannot remember how it got brought up, but Patty at one point said, well, at least I will always be your favorite girlfriend. I laughed and said, wouldn't I be his favorite girlfriend since I'm the one he married? She stopped smiling and just looked at me. She finished her drink and left not long after that. Last night, Doug got a long message from Patty saying she was really shocked at how jealous, immature, petty, and mean I am, given my age, and that I should be more secure in our marriage and in myself, and that it's okay for Doug to care about others besides just me. She also told him how much him telling her she was his favorite girlfriend all those years ago had always meant to her and can't understand why I had to shit on it. Doug told her he was sorry what I had said upset her, but that I was just saying a fact. I was the favorite girlfriend, and that's a huge reason why he married me. She sent back... I know.
Love that.
Crazy. He's like, that's my girl, okay?
Yeah. We like him.
We like him. Yes. She sent back another long text saying, I just think I'm better than her because Doug had a very firm stand that he would never marry. He didn't care if he had a gun to his head, it wouldn't happen. When we reconnected this time, he asked me to marry him after a month. And we married after we got married 8.5 months after. Doug told her that it wasn't true. I don't think I'm better than anyone, and said again he was sorry she was hurt, but that I said nothing wrong. Told her the things she was saying about me aren't true and to better not speak about me like that again. I truly never in a million years would want to hurt anyone's feelings. I said I was his favorite because I feel like you marry your favorite person, don't you? Why would you marry someone who isn't your favorite? So am I the asshole here? Doug told me it's not in any way on me that she got hurt. My best friend said that I didn't say anything that wasn't true and thinks Patty maybe is going through some stuff or just went through a breakup and is just talking it out on me.
Ooh.
Yeah. First of all, love Doug. Love Doug.
Oh, Patty.
Let me see if there's any updates.
What are you doing, girl? What are you doing, Patty? So I think it kind of started off. Did you guys get the vibe that it started off like they were just kind of doing a healthy banter? Like, well, I think I am, I don't think she was doing it to be like jealousy or like she was just, she was claiming her like that's my man. But also I think she was just like doing some healthy banter. Like, well, I think I would because
the fact that it said, I laughed and said, well, wouldn't I be? Like, she laughed. Like, she was just joking around. And she even said, and then she just stopped smiling. And, like, I think she took it the wrong way. But, again, you do that a lot when you're drinking.
We got to take that into consideration.
Mm-hmm. There was alcohol involved in the conversation. But for then to text later at a sober date maybe, who knows, but I'm assuming
That's
she
what I
was
was
sober
gonna
later,
ask. Oh shoot.
to send a long
Really?
text. Like,
Too
saying it
much.
drunk is one thing. We've all been there. But to think about, like, let it stew for a few days and then text is it's a lot.
I bet he's the guy that got away, and so she's a little jelly, and
She's a
she
little
wants to
salty
claim her
about it.
territory.
It's just crazy. 10
That's
years
already
ago.
taken.
Yeah. Like,
He's already taken. Come on, let it go.
and the fact that it was said, like, wouldn't you marry your favorite person? Yeah.
Yeah.
I would. I did.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So I'm thinking, so we really do like Doug. Doug put her where it is, like respectfully. He was
Yeah.
respectful, but he also, like, that's my wife. Yeah, she didn't say anything wrong. That's the truth.
Yeah. And he apologized, which I wouldn't have done. Because I
I know.
didn't do anything wrong. I would have been like, well, she wasn't lying. But he was respectful, like you said, sorry that hurt your feelings, but it's the truth.
It is what it is.
Sucks to suck.
Yeah. Gosh. And I know that's like real life, though. I bet there's a lot of scenarios like that where there's like an ex and
This
that
was
still has feelings and that's all doing that. So that's like so real life. I'm sure so many people can relate to that story of or something like that happening.
yeah, definitely when I was younger, for sure. Hopefully I'm not feeling this way in my 40s.
I know. Oh,
Right.
yeah. Like that takes it in context. You're 40 years old and you're acting like this. That's like something you do in your 20s. What are we doing?
Yeah, maybe
what
even
are
your
we
teens, like when you're a teenager. That's little
Well,
crazy.
I kind of have a similar situation that happened. I got married young, so I was still in high school. I ended up going to school with my husband's ex-girlfriend, and she decided she was going to befriend me. And I found out later the day that I started at that school that was his ex-girlfriend. And then I found out that she was like talking behind my back and was like, "Hey, he shouldn't have married her, blah 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 blah. Like I'm better than her." So I
Dang.
kind of have a
So you-
similar scenario though.
You relate. You relate to
I relate.
whatever her name is.
And she was put in her place.
As she should.
But yeah, I relate to like that honestly sparked like my husband and I like actually dating because I just thought of him as a guy friend. I was new to college and then like his ex-girlfriend had pulled me aside and like basically told me all the things bad about him. And I just like defended him like I don't just judge people, like they have to show me who they are for me to like take that in. Like I'm not one to judge people by their past and what they've done. And if they're acting kind and loving and like a good person around me, and they'll show their true colors, you know, like I'm not going to just take someone else's word of what they've done this and this and this in their past. So this is who they are. Like people make mistakes, people grow, people learn. And so it's not okay to ever label them from a mistake. And so she didn't like that response. And so honestly, me talking to my now husband about it, he said, that's what made me, you standing up for me is what made me so attracted. Maybe like, I got to get her. That's my girl now. So it's like things happen for a reason and bring people together, even when it's like a sticky situation or like, okay, this isn't great that this happened. But honestly, we were just friend zoning each other until something like this happened. And then I was like, whoa, could I date him? Like if she wasn't questioning me about it, would I even thought about dating this man? Probably not, because I just was new to college, getting to know people, like all that stuff. Anyway, so there's like a whole thing, like things happen for a reason. And I bet that situation, him standing up for his wife, brought them closer together. Like she was like, yep, that's my man. He respectfully put her in her place, you know? And I just think that probably like it was a part of their story.
Yeah. Like she's going to remember that forever because he's like, nope, turn that toot around.
Nope, you're my person.
That's my wife. That's my girl. Anyway, we love Doug. We stan Doug.
Yeah,
We're
not a
Doug stance.
Chad. We're pro Doug.
Pro Doug in here.
You go, Doug. You go.
That one was only posted yesterday, so no updates or anything yet, which I don't think there needs to be an update. It seemed pretty like, I bet they're not going to talk to whatever her name was, Polly,
Yeah.
Patty, Peggy. I don't remember what her name was, but
Patty, those dang
Patty.
patties.
Who's got the
All
next
right,
tea?
I can do it. Am I the asshole for considering breaking up with my fiance because I found out that she got the ick when I cried last year? Ooh, moment of silence for that.
I already feel like they're younger, like millennials, because I don't feel like anyone older says ick.
Yeah, literally.
So, like, I feel like this will be kind of relatable. Like, we'll be able to understand through our young, fresh eyes.
I love that. My fiance, 26 female and 26 male, have been dating for 7 years, and I got engaged last month. I found out something recently, however, which makes me very sad. For some backstory, I was going through a stressful time last year with work and I was feeling overwhelmed. Looking back, I think I just overreacted. But during that phase, I just don't know what was happening to me mentally. Then one night, I just started crying randomly for no reason. My fiance was surprised, but she comforted me. And she asked me what it was about, and I told her it was life in general. The week after I cried, I actually got a promotion at work, and I realized I was just overthinking everything and that things were actually fine. Mentally, I started feeling much better, and things were back to normal. But I heard something last week which genuinely hurt me. My fiance's best friend, Ellie, also got recently engaged. Ellie is also very close friends with my sister, but my sister and my fiance aren't really friends or buddies. Last week, my sister called me and told me something she heard from Ellie, which is she wanted to share with me. What happened was Ellie and my fiance were talking about green flags and what they love about their fiancés and what they could potentially be better at. And my fiance had joked about me crying last year and that she found that it was an ick. Ellie found that very funny and then shared it with my sister. My sister told me she didn't think it was funny at all, but just carried on with the conversation and I pretended everything was normal. But she wanted to share it with me. I then asked my fiance about it, and my fiance seemed a bit nervous, but she admitted that she had said that, but that she was just joking and didn't mean it. I told her I needed some space. My fiance started crying and told me she was just joking about it and that she loved that I was comfortable expressing my emotions to her. The thing is, I don't really believe my fiance, and I feel really sad and hurt that she found my crying an ick and that she joked about it with her friend. Am I the asshole for considering breaking up with my fiance?
I don't think so. Men are allowed to have feelings and emotions.
Mm-hmm.
It's healthy, it's normal. And there's just something about hearing someone you love dearly and care about talking about you behind your back. There's just something about it. So I think he's not. Poor guy, man.
What about you, Rachel?
No, I think, okay, I've heard my husband cry before we were together, before we were married. I would never, ever say that that was an ick or be turned off by that. I'm glad he was like comfortable enough to cry in front of me. I would never go talk to him about it behind his back. That'd be terrible. So I don't think he's wrong.
Yeah, so I think the thing that they're
He should-
struggling. Yeah, I think the thing that he's struggling with is more of like, yes, that she potentially thinks she said she was joking, but that she thinks that him being emotional is an ick, but also going and like laughing about it and talking about it to other people.
Mm-mm.
Like that's a sensitive thing.
Very
Like, and
vulnerable.
he was at a really like hard point, and he
Yeah.
opened and shared that with like exposed himself is probably what he felt, and for her to think it was funny or like joke about it, because she already admitted, yeah, I did say that and I did that, but I was joking. Like, okay, it's not funny. Like that's the whole point too. Not only do you think it's you you said you were joking about it being an ick, but it's not funny in general.
And I had to hear that you said this from my sister. Like, I
Well, I
don't.
think she said it to her sister's friend, not thinking it would get to him.
Well, yeah, yeah. Like, he
And
heard
then
it
her,
from his sister,
yeah.
and that's an uncomfortable situation in itself to be like, hey, so I heard your fiance said that it's an ick that you cry.
Like that's okay, that sounds in general so dumb. You saying it like that. You cry. Everyone cries. If you say you don't cry, you're lying. I'm calling everyone out that says they don't cry. You cry. You've cried. Trust me, you have.
I
We
almost cried
know.
earlier today.
I am a person that it's coming from a person that it takes a lot for me to cry. Like if I'm crying or I'm taking a moment, I'm like, you see tears, you better be like, what happened? What's wrong? Like something's really wrong. Because it takes a lot to get me to cry. Because I'm always like, I joke with humor and I'm like, want to be funny. And like, that's my coping mechanism. But if I'm crying, like everyone cries. Like even if it takes you so long or so much to cry, you cry. I guarantee it. So to say that's an ick, it's like, okay, you're going to be alone for the rest of your life because you're going to think that everyone's gross.
Yeah. Like, would she have
My,
said that at, like, a funeral?
yeah,
Seeing him cry?
literally.
He's
Right?
having a tough time. Life is hard. I cry at life sometimes. I'm the opposite of you. I cry a lot. Um,
I do too.
but it's okay. I'm letting my emotions out. They got to come out somehow.
Yeah.
Bottling them up is super unhealthy.
hmm But I married somebody that's literally my opposite. He is very emotional. Like if we're having watching a sensitive movie, the person to cry is my husband. Like he's the sensitive one. So that's like norm for me. Like I love that part about him that he has a lot of empathy, empathizes with like any situation and that's like a gift for him. And so I married him because that's a high quality. So maybe she just wants this pretend man that's macho and just hides his feelings. Well,
Hey,
guess what? Those are tool bags.
his name is Chad.
Chad the tool bag. That's who you want, girl.
I'm just kidding. The only time I've ever seen my husband cry was when our son was born. And it made me love him more.
See, that's how it should be.
But that's the only time. But he's not a macho man.
Wild. But yeah, I don't think he's the
Oh,
asshole. I don't
no.
think honestly, when reflecting on it, I don't feel like I would be questioning my marriage too. Like, do I even want to marry this person? Like, if we're already having like problem or like not problems, but like ick, like you're talking this and you're bringing my business outside of our well, which would be a marriage. It's like, do I even want to marry this person? Like,
Honestly,
I'm
good
already having
thing
problems.
this situation happened before they got married.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So I think they should pause it. I think they need to pump the brakes.
Maybe take a beat, think about things.
Go to therapy.
Mm-hmm.
I want everyone to go
Yeah.
to therapy. If you're not going to therapy, go to therapy.
The men today in our stories, we're pro Doug.
Spicy.
Well, the woman in my story is the asshole, I would say. Anyways,
Oh,
Let's go. Let's
okay.
hear it. Let's
okay.
hear it.
Let's get
So
it.
mine is, am I the asshole for divorcing my husband because he wants his son in his life? So this one,
Oh,
it's an update, but she posted the original story, so it's kind of
jumbled.
weird. I don't know. Anyways, okay. So she says, so I had a talk with my husband to clear a few things up. My husband wants to spend as much time with his son as possible. He even mentioned wanting half custody and have him live with us. So it's not like he wants to spend a day or two with him. He wants to be as close to a full-time parent as possible. Two, our vows included being child-free. It wasn't like in our wedding speech, but we had several conversations about kids. This was something we promised each other. So yes, being child-free was part of our vows. I don't like
But
children. I don't want to have any children. but it's not like I yell at kids. I guess you could say I hate the responsibility of raising a child as opposed to hating children themselves. And then she throws this in there, and I don't really know why it's in there. I would stay with my husband if he got in an accident and became disabled. I love him. I'm willing to work with him but only him. Adding a whole other person to our life is different. I can't love his kid. I can't be a good stepmom. I love my husband, but I don't love his kid. Now,
It's wild.
He almost blew me off again the other day because he was tired from working and spending time with his son. But I insisted, and I told him I don't want to live like this. We talked, and he said he can't leave his kid. And that is the one thing he can't compromise on. He said he's going to see him as much as possible. And he said that he needs to prioritize his kids' well-being over anything else, including our relationship. I told him I did not want to live that way. And he said he won't budge. We both agreed that we should separate for a while. Neither of us straight up mentioned divorce, but I'm pretty sure that that's where it's headed. I feel empty and angry and frustrated. I know my husband isn't at fault. I know his kid isn't at fault, but my life is just changing so much right now. Okay.
Okay, before we talk, let's all take a deep breath.
I'm heated.
What is that lady? Is that even a real woman?
There should never have been a marriage with him having a kid and her not wanting a kid.
That was literally my thought. Like, yes, 100%. She is the asshole, but he also messed up too by agreeing in a marriage that kids like. Did he just changed his mind? Like, he just up and flipped and was like, okay, actually, I do want to see my kid now.
Yeah, I'm curious more about that situation.
I figure it's probably either she knows he has a kid and she's like, okay, well, maybe I can just keep him away from his kid. Or he was like, yes, I have my kid, but maybe after I marry her, she'll grow to love my kid. But I don't think it should have been a thing, period. I don't think it should have
been vows. I think it should have been maybe like a discussion.
Right?
And not like put into vows at your wedding that you're going to vow to live by for the rest of your marriage.
Well, the rest of their marriage is about to come to a close.
Quick close, I think.
He's like, I didn't break this vow. I said the rest of our marriage is ending. No, I'm just kidding.
I think she is the asshole, yes. But I also think, I think he messed up too.
I think he probably didn't have his priorities. Or maybe he didn't think he was going to get his custody of his kid. You know, like there could have been like, I think that's out of the question, you know, situational things that occurred. But if he's like, okay, if I can have my kid, I'm going to. I think it's good that he's doing right by his child and being a dad.
For sure.
Like his actions now, I think are good because no one needs to go without their dad. No one needs to go without a parent in general, within reason. Like if it's not abusive and, you know, like if it's not toxic or abusive and all that, like situationally, you know. In a consideration. If you if that person's a healthy support and a good, like, can be potentially be a good parent, I think they should have them in their life, is what I'm saying. But, so I think he's making the good steps to do that. But.
There's a comment that she replied to. So I'll read the comment and then read what she says. The comment says, I hate to say this, but this isn't a compromisable situation. He wants the kid, you don't. Why are you dragging this out? Go ahead and make it a clean break so you both can move on. I'm sorry that it's come to this, but as you said, it's nobody's fault. It's just one of those curveballs that life throws at us. I don't feel like it was a curveball either. She already knew he had a kid. But my condolences on you. On the situation you're in, best wishes. And then she said, logically speaking, I know you're right. I guess I'm just trying to rack my brain to see if there's anything at all where me, him, and the kid are happy. So kind of sounds like maybe she's trying to figure out if she can make it work, but I wouldn't even want to.
It doesn't seem like she wants to budge.
Love his kid?
Yeah.
Also, some people are like really weird about like, you're the stepmom, you're not my mom. You know, like, that kind of thing. Like some people take on that role like a bonus mom and that is the mom, but some people take it differently. Some people just say like, oh, that's my dad's wife. Like they don't view them as mom. So it's like there could be a healthy way where you don't have, like, this kid, the dad and the kid are not asking you to be the mom.
Yeah.
Like, yes, the kid's going to be around just like any, like, and he's going to be a dad because that's taking ownership of his responsibilities. Like, you're the dad, sorry. But I also think, like, people view that differently in general in the world. Like, some people really think that that's mom and it's a stepmom, and then some people don't. So she doesn't have to take on, like, being a mom. And maybe that's what he thought. Maybe he thought, I don't know, I can't speak for him, but, like, maybe he thought that they were just not going to have any more kids, because she already knew that he had a kid. Yeah. I don't know.
I think, like, the thought of the possibility of that kid entering back into his life should have been in the back of her mind when writing these vows. Like, okay, it's possible. Like, what if the kid wants a relationship with the dad when he gets older than 3? I mean, maybe he even does now, or he or she does now. Like, I feel like that just needs to be a thought in the back of their minds when they're saying, no, I'm never going to see that kid again, and we're not going to have kids. Like, he already has a kid.
I just don't know how you can have so much hatred to, like, you're not going to see him. Like, you're not going to, like, I don't know. That's just, like, not right. Like, I feel like you should encourage, like, that relationship.
Unless she has daddy issues.
Well, she had daddy issues, you would think you'd want him to be a good dad.
I don't know. I don't know,
I need his perspective. I need him to write and
I know. Is his name Doug? Just kidding. Wow.
Doug or Chad, one of them. Which way will he go?
I feel for all of the men in our stories today. I don't think I've ever been able to say something like that.
Yeah, literally. Normally the guys are the asshole. That's sexy.
Like the one, or, well, in the stories we read, it seems like that like the one that said, I don't want you to have a period anymore.
I know. That's so true. Freaking Chad. All right. Well, I think that's it.
Yep. That's three piping hot Reddit stories for you guys.
Yeah.
That was good. Oh, do we have anyone to shout out this week?
I know we're going to be looking for some mamas, some guest hosts. What is it called? Co-hosts. We need some guest speakers. So if you're interested,
let's see.
Slide into our DMs.
Let me turn this all the way down.
Comments.
I know there's someone that commented recently. Let me find it. Okay. It's from it's from an episode or 2 ago, but I didn't think about looking at TikTok comments. I was only looking on YouTube. So, we're going to shout out Mama B today.
Yay, Mama B!
Mama B commented on our TikTok from episode 2 or 3. I can't remember. But she said, "Oh, the tea was piping, but I still can't get over the period thing, like, for real."
Yeah.
Love that. We love Mama B.
There was another one on there that actually gave a perspective of...
I'm looking at it. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Read it.
Oh, so this one's also from that same episode. It's Royal Flower Mama. She commented on one of our TikToks and said, "My fiancé has a female best friend. I'm totally okay with it. She has been married to her wife for a few years now, and they are super happy. She is an auntie to my daughter."
See?
There's always some upsides on stories that are similar.
Different perspectives. Mm-hmm. We love a good opinion. Like, that's outside of ours. So if you have a different opinion than what we said, let us know. We want to hear it. Be commenting. Be listening, commenting, sharing your opinion. We want to hear yours too.
Yes, and if you've ever wanted to join us on an episode, make sure to send us a DM or email us, and we will work on getting that scheduled.
Yeah, we want to hear your guys' story too. So if you feel like you got some tea to spill, let us know.
All right. That's just 3 mamas.
Spilling the tea.
We'll see you next week.